I am Marwan Cameron, and this is The Conduit. All right, y'all. It is Tuesday night, 5 p.m., little after 5. You know what time it is. It is Deborah's Corner. You know, we look forward to our Tuesdays. Today is also Giving Tuesday. So if you still have not given to a charity, do consider Surviving Change. As you know, Deborah Jackson does a lot in the community, and she does a lot of interesting things, right? I mean, she's helping folks with homelessness. She also is a funeral. I mean, she's doing everything, working with the kids. So again, if you are looking for a charity to donate to this Tuesday for Giving Tuesday, Surviving Change. That's what you want to do. But of course, we've got a great show for you tonight. We've got part 2 of our conversation last week with 3 lovely ladies, and who knows, a few more may join us throughout the evening. I'm going to go ahead and bring them up and say hi to them, see how they're doing this evening. Ladies, how are you this evening?
We're good. We're doing good.
We're good. Sorry for we're being late.
No, you're all right. You're here, right? That's the most important piece.
Yes.
So I'm blessed and highly favored, and my holiday is really good. Tell me about your holiday.
My holidays was good. The food was amazing, per usual. Never fail in that department. And yeah, it was just really nice after COVID. Just looking and seeing at all the family, and just being able to spend time with them again like that.
All right, I like that. Now it's important. Now remind everyone your name so we can call you by name. So who just spoke?
I'm Shakira.
I'm Ashley.
I'm Nehemiah.
All right, type your names in the chat again.
I have to have that
for me. And then tell Miss Deborah, you know, she's talking in the background. I know she's always working. And that's another good reason to donate to Surviving Change, because she is constantly doing the work.
Right.
Nonstop.
You know Miss never be busy like that.
You know? So Sakira, tell me about your holiday.
It was all right. It wasn't as good as it could have been, but it was all right.
All right. Ashley?
My holiday was actually really good. I really got full because I was eating some greens, some cornbread, and some turkey.
So did you help cook or did you just help eat?
I help eat.
Yeah. Like your daughter. She just helps eat. She doesn't help cook.
My mom and my sister were actually doing all the cooking. So it turned out good.
Now, did you get the itis?
Nope.
Yep, you got the itis. You took a nap. Go ahead, tell the truth. Same devil.
Did it?
You're like, nah, I didn't get the itis. Yeah, I might have, I might got a little sleepy up in there. So, while we're waiting for Miss Deborah to set up, you 3 ladies are from Bremerton High School, and what program are you from again?
Surviving Change. Oh yeah, she's not joining today.
Wait just a minute. Hello, everyone. The girls wanted to go ahead and take over the show because they felt like I cut them off, and they wanted to go ahead and leave. Wait just a minute. I threw them under the bus. I'm sorry. I wasn't supposed to say that part, everyone. But they said they was ready for round 2. So I said, y'all can host the show while I finish my work.
Hey, well, Miss Deborah, when you do wrong, you know what happens. Go and get the game.
I'm so sorry, but we wanted to go ahead and make sure everyone knew about our Christmas event on December 23rd. And they were ready to go ahead and announce all that. They had it all planned out. But I overworked them and ran into the show time. But don't forget about 'Tis the Season. You know what I'm saying? Our Christmas program on December 23rd at at St. Clair Missionary Church. We're having a pop-up clinic, to do vaccines for kids and adults. And the vaccine starts at 3 o'clock p.m. And probably we're there till 7 p.m. giving out Christmas gifts to those who had signed up through Hope 360 Christmas giveaway. Also, we don't forget everybody. We're having Leandria Johnson, um, a one-time Grammy Award winner, two-time Stella Award winner, performing on February 19th, along with Disciples of Mine coming in from Memphis, Tennessee, and Bridget Brazil. She's not coming in from Atlanta, but she'll be coming in from France, singing that opera. Giving us all a variety. So everyone, let's go ahead and let the girls do their thing and go ahead and speak their truth. Once again, thank you for tuning in.
All right, Miss
Thank you,
Deborah.
Miss Deborah.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
We appreciate you. You know, hopefully you're going in another room so you don't interrupt the ladies. Otherwise, you know, we're gonna have to. They're not having it.
They're not.
So, ladies, yeah, this is your show tonight. So, you know, let's jump back into it. First, you know, let's remind folks who maybe didn't see the broadcast last week. You know, the three of you are part of a program. You all attend Bremerton High School. And what is the name of the program? It's Surviving Change, but there's a specific name for this particular program.
Giving Girls Hope.
Giving Girls Hope. Okay. And what is Giving Girls Hope?
Giving Girls Hope is a program where we empower each other through expressing things that we've been through, regardless of how great it might have been and how bad it might have been. We just express how we felt about that situation, and we help each other get through it. And yeah, that's basically it.
And building a sisterhood with each other.
And we're finding ourselves in a way that's respectable to ourselves.
By building a kind, basically, community.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like it. I was just talking about community and resiliency earlier in the day. So let me ask you this: you were on the podcast last Tuesday, Wednesday. I take it was a half day at Bremerton High. Is that true?
Yes.
All right. So what happened between Tuesday evening or Wednesday morning until now? How did you help to create and cultivate that community and that resiliency and that sisterhood? What's happened over the last week?
Over the last week, you can most definitely tell, well, at least I can, the people that you see in the group, and you don't even have to hear their story, know their story. You all know that you're there for a purpose, whether you want a good outcome out of it or not. You're there for a purpose. So when I see them in the hallways, I always make sure I say hi and ask them how they're doing and all that, because they're in there for probably the same reason I'm in there. So it's always nice to check up on people, especially when you like to get checked up on.
Nice. Okay. Ashley?
Like when I see the girls, it kind of makes me like happy when I see them, because it's like we all, like she said, we're here for a purpose, and I'm trying to see my purpose, and I'm trying to see everyone else's purpose, because being with them and just being in the Surviving Change and Giving Girls Hope is actually, I really like it. It's nice to actually kind of make friends like slowly, and actually talk to people that are actually going through or are going through, understand you and going through the same stuff that you're going through. So it's just nice.
So jump in there, Shakira. Add on the topping on this.
You can most see the change, even though we've only had a couple meetings. Like there's one girl that the first meeting she didn't even really want to be there, and now she's talking, actually talking to us and opening up to us. So the more we do these meetings, the more we start to progress. There's still a lot of work to do within ourselves, but you can most definitely see the change.
All right, I like that. Now I'm gonna give y'all a horn. And the reason why I'm doing that is I have a saying that power is taken, it's not given. So you've taken over Miss Deborah Jackson's show tonight. This is all about y'all tonight, right? She's not even here. She had to talk for a second, and then y'all gave her the boot. So what do y'all want to talk about tonight?
It's up to y'all.
The vaccine.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah.
vaccine.
Because a lot of us
It's
are
a
against it.
it's a iffy status right now.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I'm against it
Speak on
completely, but I don't know about these two. I'm against it.
Okay,
So-
for me, the vaccine is a 50-50 because there's a lot of roles that play into it. There's so much things that you can just think of that are not scientific, and then there's more scientific reasoning of that can support either party, either that why you shouldn't get it and why you should get it. But all in all, how I feel about it personally is like, get it if you want to, don't if you don't. Because like if you don't get it, then you have to, there's plenty of stories saying like you don't get it, you get worse symptoms of COVID XYZ, which causes you, some people, to
Get
die.
hospitalized.
Yeah, some people do die. And if you do get the vaccine, supposedly it's supposed to help ease those symptoms, so then you don't have to go through that death process. But for how I see it as is, as fast as COVID came, they came with a solution faster. So it's like, where did this even come from? Because there's still rumors about it came. COVID came from China. COVID came from Europe. Like, we don't even know the real source. So how are we supposed to at least understand how you guys came up with a solution so fast, where everybody else had been like, why does it have the same symptoms as a cold and all this other stuff? It's just too much. So I'm like, if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah, plus it's really not making any sense because people said that on the Lysol bottle you could see where it says like coronavirus, it will get rid of the coronavirus or whatever. And then I was talking about it, so it's like, so the coronavirus like been here for a long time, or
No,
is it?
with that
Mm.
coronavirus is what they call a virus that they don't have a name for yet. That is what it is. So when they put that on the news, talk about some new virus going around, coronavirus, that is just a name. They didn't have a specific name for what we call COVID-19. So that's why it's called. That's why there's coronavirus on the back of the bottle.
Oh, I like that. I like that teamwork. So where do you ladies get your information from? Where do you do your research? I actually had the Kitsap Regional Library on 2 weeks ago, and they were talking about looking at the 5 W's, right? The what, why, when, and where. So where do you get your research and your information from?
Where I get my research and information from, I could go to the news. I read articles sometimes. If I find something that interests me, I educate myself on that topic. If I want to know more, of course, I'll dig deeper and find what I want to know. But that's basically it.
So your news articles, is it social media? Is it periodicals? Is it, where?
So on my phone, it has like the news. I only look at the trusted news sources because not everybody, people put whatever they want on the internet.
Mhm.
People can say you can eat a banana pill and that will cure cancer. People will believe that. But so you have to go to the trusted sources, and I go on my phone, there's a news app, and I look in the news, and then if there's articles, I read the articles. And my grandmother gets the newspapers all the time, so I'm looking through those.
All right. Ashley, how about you?
Same thing. Whenever, because my phone does the same thing. Like look into it deeper to see if like, oh, is this true? Was this really on the news? This is what people said. And plus Wikipedia, that kind of has stuff on there too, a little bit. But yeah, sometimes books from the library, good,
Okay.
good thing to get some information on.
How about you, Shakira? Where do you get your information from?
My father.
Okay.
He watches the news and stuff, so he's like the gossip of the news. And then actually, like our most recent that I got, her name was Holly. She actually just came to our last meetings, and she was like telling us some information about the vaccines and like how COVID would affect her and stuff. So
Now, is that Holly Botstead from Kitsap County, Kitsap Public Health?
yes.
Okay. All right. Shout out to her for sure for coming and sharing that information. So yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of unknown still, and It's a bit scary. Have you guys heard about what's happening in South Africa and the fact that we're closing our borders to 8 of the African countries because of the Omicron variant that just got released over the weekend? That's
Yeah.
kind of sweeping through the world.
See
So
what that's
what are your thoughts on that?
Um, it's kind of sad because I don't think they have like the resources that they need to get like the help. So them closing the borders kind of like a push away a little bit.
yeah, especially when we were so open and accepting when that stuff was happening in Afghanistan, where the warriors had to evacuate because I forgot what group, but a rival group took over the airports and all that other stuff. So for us to, yeah,
Some of it.
yeah,
Okay.
no,
Oh, not that one.
no, it was recent. But I'm like, for us to close the borders because we don't know if we're gonna need their help one day. We might just be like, oh no, they're tiny, they're not like it is. They gotta fend for themselves. But you never know whose help you're gonna need one day. So for us to close the borders and say you got to stay up there, I completely understand. If you got like same thing, if I have COVID, I don't want to be around nobody else. Stay where you got to go. But I just think that we already did so much to Africa that this is just like a repeating event. Like they're like, oh, yep, let's add this on top of that.
Right, because there were like social media was already talking about how Africa barely got any clean water. When come on, Africa got the resources.
They thought that we were still like that. They were still living in huts.
Right. They think that everything is built out of stones and like sticks. Like, nah.
That's not the case, and I don't
It's
like
not
how
the
that's.
case. It's not. I don't like how social media portrays Africa.
At
It's
all.
not a poor like little. No, it's not.
It's very rich.
It's very rich. Like Africa literally has so much resources, like life resources, that people just don't understand and are not paying attention and just looking at it.
Well, I mean, you know, first off, it is the cradle of civilization, right? It's a continent, not a country, and it's the largest continent, right?
Right.
Made up of many countries for sure, and they are rich in, so many different minerals, right?
Mhm.
Your cell phones, your TVs, all kinds of things are coming out of Africa to make those materials for sure. When they close the border, you know, that is economically damaging to a country, right? And all countries are different for sure, you know. But yeah, I think people really confuse Africa and they don't think there's cities and highways and, you know, high speed internet and everything else. And Africa has everything, right?
Exactly.
And then some for sure. So, you know, kind of coming back to COVID, um, you know, what else makes you so distrusting of, you know, kind of what COVID is? You know, you kind of don't believe in the vaccine. You know, from a medical standpoint, the United States has treated Black people in a very harsh way, and I mean, I can't even.
Amen.
Oh gosh.
Words to that.
Yes.
Amen.
Gosh.
Right. So, and people will say the Tuskegee experiments all the time, but you know that what they've done to our women that were in slavery and doing experimental surgeries and different things of that nature, and that's how we've got a lot of our advancements. Right? They think that our skin is thicker and tougher, and we don't experience pain the same way. So it's so much more. You know, people will always say the Tuskegee experiment, but through United States history, we have been treated horribly from a medical standpoint. So does that influence what you feel about the vaccine? And
Yes, it does.
talk about that a little bit.
Because it influenced because when they were doing, I believe, the cures for syphilis or something with syphilis back then, they had put, I don't even know how to explain this, but they had a little camp thing, whatever, and they were saying, oh, if you have syphilis, come here, we'll cure it for you. We have a cure for syphilis or whatever. They injected those people with syphilis. If anything, they killed those people. So, and just to see, or they gave them the wrong medicine just to see how their body would react to that medicine because of their skin color. So, and giving the fact that history continues to repeat itself from revolutions in Haiti and the Jamaican Revolution to just George Floyd being killed. History just keeps repeating itself with the same thing. So that really does influence a lot of fear because there's never an end. There's never going to be an end. So that's why I'm kind of against it because we don't know what's in that bottle. We don't know what's in that needle that they're finna inject us with. They do.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Secure,
They don't care.
tell me what would make you feel more comfortable. What would help you to? And we're not talking about the vaccine right now, but with the medical system in the United States, what could they do to regain the trust of the Black community?
I
Or
don't
even just
think,
yours,
huh?
or maybe even just yours, right?
I don't think they could gain it would take a lot to gain not even just mine or not even just mine, just a lot of African Americans or just people of color in general because they've done so much to us. So like you've done all this stuff and now if I break a glass right now and I say sorry, the glass is still going to be broken.
That part.
So I don't know what they
Right, and this guy's been looking for 400 years.
yeah, I don't know what they really could do to like fix it. They just got to do better. It's like take day by day, you just got to do better because it's getting tiring.
Actually,
Yeah, because it really is. Because I really gotta say this, it's getting tiring in the Black community. We are literally sick of being disrespected, and people say, "Oh, no, shut it up." Because yes, it is. Because listen here, I'm really about done walking around getting disrespected for no reason because I'm just Black. I'm just a different color from everybody else.
Amen.
Oh, so you're not gonna serve because I'm Black? What are we in? The 70s? No.
Just not the 50s.
Right. And
we're not in segregation.
Which, like she was saying, we are literally Black people and like women, we are literally not lab rats. Like you do not literally put like experiment on us when we're literally pregnant. Like you don't do that. That's how you I'm irritated because it's no, you just don't. We're not lab rats.
And
period,
then we're just
point
supposed to accept it.
Exactly. And then they get mad when we don't accept the fact
now
that
we're mad, angry Black women. Now we're
aggressive.
Yeah. Now we're loud. Now
Right.
we're this. When
Now
no,
we're ghetto.
you've done all this stuff. When you keep picking on somebody, they're gonna pop.
Exactly.
If I blow up a balloon right now, it's eventually going to pop. No, it doesn't matter how long it will take. It's still going to pop.
Mm-hmm.
So you have popped us.
And then when we have our protests, they still implement things for it to turn into a riot. Mm-hmm. Because how many times of how many years have we done stuff peacefully? But slaves were doing things peacefully and they had every right to be mad. Mm-hmm. You guys had shackles around our necks, wrists, and feet. What do we look like?
Hold on, let me say it again. Even slaves were doing protested with shackles on.
Peacefully. Martin Luther King, peaceful, got shot for what? For saying that he doesn't want to be segregated?
Mm-hmm. But what really mind baffles me is like this whole thing with like the Capitol, like the Caucasians.
Yes, bro.
I've been waiting to talk about
when they raided it. Like not a lot of deaths came out of that. But these people were trying to hang
us.
I think it was the vice president. They were trying to hang him. Mm-hmm. And then, so that's the Caucasians. And then when we did the George Floyd thing, it was a peaceful protest. And they were doing tear gas on us.
Doing tear gas. And
they didn't even bring the tear gas until like a while, like long down the road with the whole Capitol thing. As soon as they saw us, tear gas, gunshots.
And plus, they were having like undercover cops or something like that breaking things.
That's what I said. They implemented things during all those peaceful protests to make them turn into riots. People were not just going down saying justice for George Floyd and breaking windows. No, we were doing it peacefully. People were coming in from, I believe this, because you have a, what is it called? Not an unmarked car, but your police car is not on duty at the moment. Why would you leave it unlocked during a protest and then have one of your own police officers break the window?
And then they don't even have the
Then
badges.
they cover it up
Ugh.
over insurance, put our name on it, paint the picture as we're the bad guys, but in reality, you guys are doing it to yourselves. And then you want to have something to blame it on. You want to start the riots. You want to do all this. We are trying to be peaceful as possible. We can't continue to be peaceful. Like,
Yeah, because it seems
It's-
It's
when
not
we're
getting
peaceful,
nowhere.
it seems like when we're peaceful, we don't get they don't cover it. But
Exactly.
then when we get loud, they cover it, but in a negative way.
exactly.
Oh, these looterers, oh, these rioters.
Oh, these
But
thugs.
when they raided the Capitol, what did Donald Trump say? We believe in you. You guys are safe. We love you guys. Absolutely not.
No. And that's exactly why why were the cops so quick to act when we were just trying to say justice for Breonna Taylor, knowing good well that girl should have never died
No, good and what she died literally like
for no reason.
Yeah.
For no reason. I mean, she started a revolution that she probably would never be able to think of. But it's just, why were they so quick to act when we were trying to get our justice? But whenever those white boys and the Proud Boys got upset, they went up to the Capitol, and that is highly secured. Why were they so quick to act on them? Like, why were they so late to act on them? Oh no, go ahead. They'll storm the Capitol. Go ahead.
Like, why do
Go try
Do
to
you
sit
have
at the
your-
prison.
Do
why
you
do
have
we-
your permission slip? Do you
Why-
need a chaperone?
why
Like,
do
why
we
are you
have to-
guys catering to these people when they were stealing confidential things? They were stealing letters and emails. Why are they getting catered to?
Information literally could be about the government, and they could literally hack and stuff and look, end of the world, done, we're dead.
Exactly. So why are we catering to them? And then they expect us to continue to cater to them when they consistently get handed stuff.
Spoon fed.
Well, let me ask you a question. You know, my daughter is 10 and I've got two granddaughters too. And, you know, I'm definitely concerned for the world that they're gonna grow up in, right? So, you know, right now you guys are somewhere between 15 and 17 years old. So my daughter's got a few years before she hits you. She can't be 10 forever. I'll keep trying. You know, she'll have a birthday next year. She could be 10 again for as long as possible. But I know that that's not the case. So you will be adult soon, and you're gonna go out into the world, and I can hear your concern, right? And you know, I appreciate you being raw and sharing your emotions for people to see, because as young adults, you have opinions, you have thoughts, you have emotions, and this clearly pains you. So what is your adulthood going to be, knowing that in 2021 we're still dealing with all these same things? It's almost like we haven't really made any progress, right? Almost feels like we're falling backwards.
Well,
So what are you going into?
okay, so when you said, I can see how they're trying to make an effort with that.
Mhm.
With the past being the past, I can see how they're attempting to make an effort. They're attempting to make an effort by getting all the small Black businesses together on Amazon and doing that little thing. They're attempting to make an effort by showing more Black people on the screen during commercials and all that. They're attempting to make an effort by having commercials in Spanish for the Mexicans and don't have no translation. I see that. I noticed that. But a little ad on the TV is not ever going to be enough for all the pain that we have endured. And like,
Right. What's that gonna do?
what do you hand clap for that? But let's talk about the real situation. Our little 15-30 seconds on the TV time is not what's going to fix or resolve our issues.
All right, let's really get down to business.
So for 2021, they're probably just gonna continue to do the same thing, give us a little 30 seconds, try to put more Black people on the screen, and give us our little spotlight. But how long will that spotlight last before the white man gets angry?
Well, let me go a little bit further than that and get Ashley and Secure to respond to that. I would say that many of the things that you just named, even tearing down of the statues, is just symbolic, right? Like, how does that actually dismantle institutionalized and systemic racism? So you've taken down a statue, or you put more Black faces on TV or in movies. Great. How does that help us economically? How does that help us pass down generational wealth? How do we build generational wealth? So let me throw that to Ashley and Secure.
I think you gotta like take it day by day, because it's never gonna get better. Like, I don't understand why we have to be dead for us to get noticed. Like, why do we have to have protests? Why do we have to have signs that say justice instead of them just listening to us? Like, the world is so corrupt with Black people. I don't think it's ever going to get better. So, like, as we grow up, it's probably going to get worse because it's just going to get worse. That's just how it's just going to. I've accepted the fact that it's going to get worse. I
So
don't see any
before,
changes.
before you answer, Ashley, so are you saying, a lot of people would say, hey, like you said, things are, folks will say things are getting better. Obviously, we're not in slavery now. There's still a lot of issues. But a lot of folks will say, well, the racist people are the grandparents and the great grandparents, and they're dying off. And if you're saying that you don't feel like it's getting better, then what you're saying is that, their parents and their sons, people that are your age that are racist. I mean, it
Yeah,
would
Yes.
have to
because
you up.
racism most death starts in the
Literally.
household. So if I grew up with my grandmother and she passes away, I'm still gonna remember because I'm watching her. I'm still gonna remember like the thing that she does. So I'm gonna apply that to my life. So if a parent's being racist and their kid is growing up watching that, they're gonna think that stuff is okay. So racism is literally it's a
Learn
it's a cycle. It's a generational thing with people.
So they're being taught in the home, is what you're saying. That's where it
Yeah.
started.
Yeah, like generational like curses when it comes to, kids having like racist like parents.
And when you're young, you really just soak up everything like a sponge. So you hear your Uncle Bob just cussing out this black man on the TV because he accidentally switched it to BET. And he just calling them the N word with the hard R. And you're just sitting on the floor, you're just hearing them say that. You realize that that's a black man. Every black man that you see from now on, you're going to be like, hey, you're a.
Mm-hmm. My
And
dad
then,
saw you on the TV and called you a
yeah, you look just like the dad. You just look like the guy my dad called the N word.
But and look, and they be saying black people look alike, and it's so annoying.
Exactly.
Like, they be
Swear,
thinking
they be
that-
sisters, brothers, uncle,
Right.
cousins. Like, no.
Like when we say like, oh, we're African American. Are you from Africa? Like, bro.
It's the,
People say
it's
that.
your cousin. Like, no.
Yeah. When I was when I used to go to Oli, I was like, oh yeah, I'm black, And then the guy was like, oh, so you from Africa? Like, how'd you get here? Like that was,
I
bro.
get here. Wow.
Yeah, I was like, were you on a boat? Like, oh, that's funny.
So tell me your thought, Ashley. As I was saying, right now in a few years you're going to be a grown adult, and what is your early adulthood going to look like in this country for you? How are you going to walk through this as a black woman?
When I see a racist, I'm slapping them in the face. They're gonna get kicked in the jaw. Everything. But for real though, I feel like in my adult age, if this is still going on, I would be sad. Even though I'm still sad, but because it's it's going on. But if it's still going on, I would be sad. But I'll just be like, because it's like I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Like we shouldn't have to we should be able to feel safe in our home. Breonna Taylor did what? Got killed in her home.
Mm-hmm.
Like now you don't feel safe. It's just a lot that it shouldn't be happening, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask the sisterhood another question. As high school students, right? I was telling you my daughter is 10 and she's out in Silverdale. And so as she would look up to y'all and just, oh, you guys are so cool, as many of the little girls look at, the older girls. What would you say to them?
That, for me, what I would say to them, since they're being young women, and I know that they were probably as strong-headed as I am, one day they're going to have this really, they're going to have an opinion that's going to stick with them. What I'm going to say to them is that follow your heart and don't let nobody crush your dreams. Don't let nobody try to, in your ear, don't let nobody try to crush your dreams. Because As much as somebody else thinks that they know what's best for you, you know what's best for you. Out of anybody, you know exactly what's best for you.
Yeah. I would just tell them to like. I know a lot of people say you can be anything you want to be, but I would say that to them because sometimes that sticks with people. Like a lot of these, like Michelle Obama, for example, really put that out. Like you could really accomplish anything if you really put your mind to it. And don't let nobody, like Nehemiah said, don't let nobody stand in your way of doing what you want to do. Because if that's your passion, you should follow it. Because if you want to, nobody can make you happy besides you.
Exactly.
So don't do nothing that's gonna like be depressing, it's dragging. No, just do what you want to do and have fun.
Right.
Ashley, what would you tell the 10-year-old?
I would tell them, if you want to become like me or do what I'm doing, go ahead and do it, because it's like, if you're trying to see a change in the world, let's get on to it. Let's see the change you want to do, because you can literally do anything, you know?
Yeah.
Just like she said, put your mind to it. Just do whatever. Like, you don't need to go out and tell people, oh, am I doing this right? Or should I really do this? The only reassurance you need is just what's in here.
Yeah.
It's
Be
just
you. Be you, because there's gonna literally only be one you.
Right. You need to be
Exactly.
like,
Even like if I was a twin, I would still be Shakira because nobody can make Shakira than Shakira.
Yeah, but I always remind myself there's no bunk beds in a casket. So you always are gonna have yourself to the day you separate from this earth.
because we're not going to be holding hands, we'll be dead. So
There's no bunk beds in a casket. So you just and make sure everything that you do you won't regret. Like if like don't have regret. Like yes, you're gonna regret things in your life and all that, but it's best to live life where you know what you want. Don't have other people influence your thoughts, because when other people are influencing your thoughts, that's when the regret starts to happen. That's when you're like, oh my gosh, I should have never done that. I should have just listened to my gut, because you should have.
Because don't even let peer pressure get to you, because that thing is a real thing. And a lot of us had to learn it like the hard way.
Yes.
So I would tell them, don't let peer pressure get to you, or watch out for it.
If someone is trying to peer pressure you,
and watch closely.
Yeah.
No.
Or because that stuff it can really affect someone mentally.
Peer pressure, that's a big one you guys touched on, right? Folks want to feel like they belong. I mean, this is one of the reasons why Giving Students Hope exists, right? That sisterhood. And so if you don't have that, right, and you're trying to fit in with the wrong groups because you don't want to be isolated, that peer pressure is a serious thing that a lot of folks go through. So, what you said is so powerful for little Black girls. I so appreciate that, and Black boys too. Tell us, you got it so together. What do you want to be when you grow up? What are your goals and aspirations that you're telling little girls you can be anything you want? What do y'all want to be?
A therapist.
A therapist? Okay. What kind of therapist? Child psychology or
family therapy.
Family. Okay.
Yeah, and like one-on-one therapy, to where like if they're going through something, like kind of like that type of therapy. Like I deal with like, trauma and stuff like that.
Oh, I love it. Why?
Because I feel like if I had someone, like when I went like the stuff that I went through, if I had someone to be there for me and sometimes just listen, because that's what some people just need. They just need you to listen. They just need you to listen. I feel like I could be that person. Because sometimes you need a vent. You don't need no response. You just need someone to just sit there and just give you a hug. So that's why I kind of want to be that. Because I know what it feels like to feel like nobody's listening and nobody sees you. So I want to let them know, like every client, every patient that I have, I want them to know that I see them.
Mm-hmm. That's big. Ashley?
There's a lot of things I want to be, but
what pulls your heart more? Like, what do you like really just are like, okay, I have all these options. This is the one that I really want, but these ones all look good. So which one really just like pulls your heart more?
Flight attendant.
What? Go ahead. I like it.
Yeah, just being a flight attendant, just being on the plane and yeah, traveling and stuff.
So you want to do international flights?
Yeah.
So the mother of my oldest daughter, she's actually international flight attendant. So that's what she does, and she loves it. She really enjoys that. Nehemiah?
For me, what I want to be is I want to buy and sell companies, and I know that's a lot. That is a lot. That is a big goal for me to get to because there's so many little steps and so much things to learn. But that is one thing that I've had my eyes set on for a minute. I've also wanted to be a lawyer, but
Same.
it's just in between the two. But I don't know. Something about buying and selling companies just really sparks my interest because I love money. Shoot. I love money. I will say I'm greedy with that. But I won't let it corrupt me. I'm not the type to be greedy and be like money over my family. Like I'm not gonna let it corrupt me, of course. But
So you say you're gonna be like Deborah Jackson when you get money?
a little bit better though.
Oh my goodness. What do I do?
Everything.
Oh, so Ashley, I want to come back to you because I want to hear some of your other ideas, right? So you're telling little girls you could be anything you want to be, right? There was a stat, it's probably changed, where they say that people will change their career 6 to 8 times in their lifetime. So you're probably going to do a lot of things. I was a bricklayer. I own my own company now. I was a professor at the college. So I've done a lot of different things. So you probably would do a lot of different things too. So what kind of things, what are the other things that you wanted to do?
Because
More than
when I
one.
was what?
You can do more than one.
Yeah, you're right. Because I did want to be at first, like I was so focused on I wanted to become a lawyer so bad. I really wanted to become a lawyer, and I don't know, I was just trying to debate with somebody.
Because this girl can argue you down.
Yeah. I think you should invest into that.
Right,
Shoot.
because when I was younger, I wanted to be a cashier because I was so obsessed with money when I was young. It was a child, let me tell you. Literally, I wanted to be a cashier, and now I don't even know how to work with money, so I don't know if I'll be a cashier, but it's just that lawyer and that flight attendant is just lawyer, flight attendant. And so,
I mean, you
yeah.
could be an entrepreneur. I mean, that's what I want to be. I want to be an entrepreneur because when buying and selling companies, you kind of have to do a lot of jobs. I mean, so.
You're definitely gonna be fierce for sure. Well, let's circle back to the vaccine, and while we're finishing that discussion up, think about what else you want to talk about. So, we were talking about how you guys feel about the vaccine right now and COVID in general. We were talking about how Black folks have been treated historically in this country in regards to our health care and getting health and things that have been done to us. And we kind of touched on a little bit about what would they have to do, right? So a lot of times we identify the problem, which we need to do, but at the same time, we can't wait on folks that have harmed us then to tell us how they're going to make it better, right? We have to tell them. And so I see this kind of struggle in the Black community a lot where we can identify what the problem is, but we don't have a clear direction on, okay, how do you make it better? So if there were 3 things that the health community can do better, let's say 5 years from now, there's a new virus, something totally different than COVID, how could they get it right in the future 5 years from now?
When
And that's from now till 5 years when this new whatever comes up, right? They've got to start doing work to build trust and show us that they are being transparent and things like that. What are those things that they could do starting day one?
For starting day one, I feel like, I mean, they should. This is my big thing. Like for women empowerment, I feel like they should have. I like that. We have a lady in the office already, but I feel like women voices should be way more out there. Because people think that since we're women, we don't know as much, or because we don't work as much or whatever the case might be that they have in their head. I feel like a lot of women could change the world. And if we have that voice out there and people are so deep into politics, it's like they go crazy over it. But I feel like if our voice was out there, even in any party, it would just do so much for the world in general because our voice would be out there as a woman, no matter what the race could be. You could be whatever race you want to be, but shoot, just let us women rise up for a chance.
Literally. And I feel like some celebrities actually can like help out what's going on in the world. Like even besides like all like the vaccine and stuff, like they can actually help out what's going on in the world because I know having a celebrity see what's going on. They be on their Instagram doing all that Snapchat, like, all right, get off that phone. You're like what 36 years old, like get off that phone and you know what's going on. Like you know sorry. But you know what, like you know what's going on around the world. And like I saw this comment on TikTok. It was talking about Elon Musk if he could like send all his money to like kind of like the healthcare and something, like we will get like a rise up in terms of healthcare. And so I was like, yeah, because he got a lot of money, he know what to do with it. But hey, I guess a car, little metal things important than what's going on with living humans in the world.
That's Kira. Before you jump in, let me read some of these chats. I was so caught up in the conversation. Chats were coming through and I didn't even see them. So shout out to Christina. She says, Dr. Kimberly Riley, shout out to her, is a local licensed family therapist and child mental health professional. If you seek a mentor, that is. So for sure, shout out to Dr. Riley. Someone in the chat said, better to do something you love with a question mark. Mark says, get the most experience you can in as many fields as you can. Learn everything. He also says, leave politics out of it and to rise up anyway. Nobody is going to let you, for sure. And that kind of goes along with my power is taken, not given, for sure. So sorry about that chat. I was so caught up in the conversation. The chat was building up. So let's jump back in this, Kira. So, and I'm going to type that in the chat, right? So once you kind of give me your thought on there, we're going to come up with a list of 1 to 5 things and type it in there on ways that, the community can start to do right in the next 5 years when the next thing hits. So what are your thoughts on that?
Probably like Ashley said, like a lot of celebrities could like do better. Like I see some of them, but it's not like enough. I guess you could say it's just a lot that a lot of people could do to like just do better in the next 5 years.
Right, especially like the black celebrities, because part of the black community. And even though like Beyonce was like passing out the vaccines and stuff, like it was good, but like we could have did a little more. But we're working it up. It's fine.
Well, let me challenge you ladies on that. If you're saying that, you want the celebrities to be more so ambassadors, but you're kind of like Beyonce kind of did, okay, our celebrities can say whatever they want. At the end of the day, it's the healthcare professionals. The doctor we go to isn't going to be Beyonce, right? The vaccine that's created by the pharmaceutical company isn't Jay-Z. So what do they have to do to create that trust? Because, honestly, I'm not going to trust anything that Beyonce says. I want to do my science and my research. So, Beyonce didn't give folks syphilis. So what is that medical community going to have to do to build our trust? So when something happens in 5 years, we're like, all right. You guys have done a lot of work over the last 5 years. I think I can kind of trust that.
They're going to have to show proof.
They're going to have to show.
They're going to have to show proof, and they're going to have to be more honest. Because the truth
honest.
is set you free.
Okay.
The truth is going to set you free no matter what. So you got to be
like,
they got to be way more honest with everything.
Sorry.
They haven't been honest from the jump. So I don't really care about what Beyonce got to say about it. I don't really care about what Joe Biden got to say about it. I want to know about the people who are making it, what they got to say about it, and I want the honest truth about it. That's what's going to convince me. I don't need everybody else's influence and input on it.
Right, and more factual evidence.
And how?
By not testing people.
All right, we don't know whatever.
Let's not test people because of their race. Let's not test people because of their disease. Let's test people. No, let's not even test people. Test yourself if you want to find out.
Right.
Like, if you guys are making the stuff and you don't trust your own product, that's a default in your factory, not ours.
Then no, for real. Then that says something.
Exactly.
If
you can't trust your own product to do it to yourself, then you shouldn't be doing it on other people. Because if I was making some macaroni and cheese and I didn't even taste it before I asked other people to taste it, I wouldn't taste the food, honestly.
Because you know what's going on with the mac and cheese.
Like, if the mac and
y'all
cheese,
know what's going on with the stuff. Because y'all know what's going on. But you...
Well, let me ask you a question.
What?
Ashley, the ladies, let me ask you a question. So if, let's say I was Moderna, right? I was the CEO of Moderna. If I gave myself the vaccine in front of you, would that be that evidence?
If you gave the vaccine in front of me and then
To myself.
follow up with the next couple weeks on how it affects you every day of those weeks, and you were perfectly fine and you have no underlying conditions before you took the vaccine, yeah, I'd be A-okay with that. But it varies for different people, and since it does vary for different people, there's never going to be a true answer for how it affects you.
All right, I like that. I think that's a big one. And then, with the honesty, what would that honesty look like for you that would make it believable, right? Because we talked earlier about where you get your news source from, right? Sakura gets it from her father. You get it from information that comes in through your phone, right? So Ashley gets it from Wiki and some other places from the school. So what kind of honesty could they show to you that would be like, okay, they're being honest, they're being transparent, I'm kind of believing what they're saying? What does that look like?
Just like I said, updates and documents.
Updates and documents?
Yeah.
Yeah, like updates. Because, there's not that much, updates within, the health stuff. And sometimes they be, late with updates and stuff. So it's, update. What's going on? Yeah.
And how would you want that update? Would you want it super technical with a long, super medical terminology, or would you want a technical writer to translate some of that and make it into layman's terms? Okay, I can understand this.
I mean, it could be I guess scientific term, but it has to make sense and it has to look like, oh, okay, I know what I'm talking about and this is how I'm gonna fix it and stuff.
Okay. All right. So shout out to Nehemiah. Secure. What would be, let's say, a number 3? We got honesty. We have evidence. What else would they have to do in the next 5 years?
Honesty, evidence. That's actually it. Just tell the truth and show us what's going on.
Right. Just
instead of just saying it.
Right. Because if you just say it, you know how people are gonna switch it and switch it up. And sometimes that's it. Yeah.
So let's say, for example, Sakura, it's 5 years from now. Your dad says to you, okay, this new thing is out, and they've been doing this work over the last 5 years of trying to be honest and clear and provide evidence on what they're doing and how they do it. What would your response be? They've kind of whipped up the vaccine in the same amount of time. It's very similar. It's just something different. Would you be like, okay, I'm gonna go get the vaccine, it's all good, or would they still need to do something else?
Well, my dad has the vaccine, and he's trying to help us to get it, but I still don't. I don't know.
Oh, now I gotta go in. Now I gotta ask you a question, Sakura.
Yeah, my dad has it, but my mom don't want it. She don't want us to get it.
Okay.
For real?
It's my mom is she doesn't want none of us to get it.
That's what I thought it should have been.
So let's talk about that, Sakura. First off, Miss Deborah, y'all getting loud back there. The ladies, they got the floor right now. your father has the vaccine. He wants you to be vaccinated. Your mom doesn't. She doesn't. Right now, you're kind of siding on that side. We didn't even talk about where your mom gets her information from. So why are you siding with your mom in this regard?
Um, I'm kind of in the middle because the vaccine, like now, if you don't have the vaccine, you can't like get a lot of jobs and stuff because they want it. So like it's kind of like 50-50 a little bit.
So are you working right now, or you plan on going to work here soon?
Oh well, yeah, I think I'm going to work with Miss Deborah. I haven't made my decisions yet. She's a little hard, so I don't know. I don't know yet.
Well, here's the thing: if you can work for Miss Deborah, then there ain't no boss, outside of that. Who's that? Gordon Ramsay, who curses people out.
Gordon Ramsay got nothing on Miss Deborah. I'm telling you right now. I'm sorry. Nothing on Miss Deborah. Who else? Gordon Ramsay and there's somebody else. Nothing
With the Hell's Kitchen. Oh, and Simon Cowell from
Yeah,
Simon Cowell. Gordon
it's
Ramsay.
like her. It's like them two, but in a female version mixed together.
Plus Medea.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Miss Deborah's no joke. Miss Deborah's no joke. So do you
When
think
it comes to business, no, yeah.
mm-hmm.
But like when it comes to her business, she don't mess around.
so what you're saying is right now, let's say you do decide to come and work for Miss Deborah, she sees a lot of folks that will kind of tip the scale for you and you'll go ahead and get the vaccination. Is that what you think is secure?
Maybe. I don't know yet. I might get it. I don't know. I don't know.
Are you still straddling the fence?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I'm just testing the waters.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that feel like you. So, sharing that out, a lot of people get condemned for feeling this way, right? It's like, well, look, I don't feel comfortable yet. I still want some more information. And instead of talking to people and listening to them, like you said before, right, earlier, like what's important is listening to people and being there for folks and getting an understanding instead of making assumptions and judging folks. This is a powerful moment for people that are watching and listening to your bravery to say, you know what, I don't know, and at this point, I could get it. There doesn't seem to be anything that's really stopping you as far as, what, if I take this vaccine, something bad is going to happen to me. My dad got it, so he's okay. I'm just like, you know what, I don't know yet. I might take it if I go to work, and I may not. I'm just going to keep it on for now, but I'll make a decision at some point in time. Ashley, what where you get your news at right now? You're not vaccinated. What would it take right now currently?
Currently I'm still like researching about the vaccine. Like cuz I'm really trying to research the vaccine because it's like I heard good things about it and I heard bad things about it. So it's really like a 50-50 on it. Because it said like, oh, if you get the vaccine, you can still get COVID.
I did.
Yeah, you can still get COVID, but you can spread it, but you won't get hospitalized. It won't be that bad though. But so I was like, okay. But then people were like, it doesn't really protect you, but you can still get it. But you're not going to die. But still have a chance of dying, but not going to. So it's just like, I don't know. I'm still doing research on it and stuff.
Well, what you're saying is absolutely true. I absolutely got, both shots of the Moderna, and then I did it, I was hesitant at first. And, I've got a lot of health issues, high blood pressure, overweight, I've got a lung issue. And so, talking with my doctors and doing the research, it was like, well, look, you know, there's always a risk with any kind of vaccine, right? Doesn't matter what kind of medicine you take. You watch commercials on TV, especially late night, and it's like, hey, this will help you go to sleep, but it could kill you. You could do this. You're going to bleed. You're going to.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would I take that? I'm going to be worse off if I take this.
No, right.
Crazy, But, so there's no medicine, that's perfect. But at the same time, having that conversation with my doctor and then thinking about it and doing all the research and talking to other people in the community that I trust, I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and get vaccinated. And so with that, I did get vaccinated. And unfortunately, I had a breakthrough case in that first week. I really thought I might have been checking out of here. I was still doing podcasts. I was sweating, it was looking real bad for me. And, I made it through. But I do believe 100% that if I didn't get that vaccine, I probably would have been in the hospital and I could have ended up on a ventilator. So that was my thought on that. I just got my booster on the 20th of November. I wanted to make sure I was good for Thanksgiving because a lot of folks that I talked to that got the booster shot got sick, for a day or two. And I'm like, I don't want to be sick during Thanksgiving. So I did that. I actually didn't get sick and, not really feeling bad at all. And now I'm good, for now. So we'll see what happens, but yeah, the breakthrough case can definitely happen. So are you thinking about going to work for Miss Deborah also? Like, I don't put it on the spot, Miss Deborah. You need to leave out the room.
I told them they can be open about it. I'm not holding them back.
Okay. It's okay. So I didn't fill out the what's it called again? Yeah, the application. Not to be rude, but I told Miss Deborah I'm here for the podcast. And then she was like, so you didn't fill it out? And she was like, oh, okay. So I thought it was like something deeper than that. But there's nothing wrong with Miss Deborah. I love Miss Deborah.
Go ahead, speak your truth, boo.
Just a lot.
That's right.
It's a lie. It really is. Plus,
it's not for the weak.
I'm slow. I'm gonna be honest. Like it's not. It is. It's not, and I'm slow.
So you got
get the cane. Miss Deborah, go get the cane on it. She's hardcore.
I put about the 10 cane whips on me. Tell you already, because it's like I don't know. It's I really got bad ADHD. Plus, I think I got short-term memory loss. I can't even remember half of this stuff. Like you can tell me something that like 5 seconds ago. I'm like, I bet. Wait, what did you say? Like I wouldn't even remember.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let me show you something. I want to get your feedback on that. And then I do want to switch subjects and make sure we kind of cover a lot that you guys want to talk about. But you said Miss Holly from Kids at Public Health came to visit you today, and they actually put out this data that comes out every Thursday. So this is updated every Thursday. And I think this is really good information. And what you talked about was you wanted honesty and then you wanted evidence, right? Mm-hmm. And so if you look here, this is the new hospitalizations by week of admission. And this is for the past month. So if you can see my mouse here. Yeah. And so if you were vaccinated and you were the ages of 12 to 59, 1.2 people ended up in the hospital. If you were unvaccinated, 15 people ended up in the hospital. So that's 14 times more likely to be hospitalized if you're not vaccinated, right? Those are the things that I thought were helpful stats that you never see on the main news, right? They just say, hey, there's more people that are hospitalized that are unvaccinated. Well,
right, they'll just show the hospitalized people, but won't show like,
it's not helpful. And then here, if you're 60 or over, 6.7 in the last month ended up in the hospital, and 24.7 ended up in the hospital if they weren't vaccinated. So that's 4 times as likely to be hospitalized if you haven't been vaccinated. So tell me your thoughts on that. And you can see the percentages over time because they track all this stuff. So to me, like that's real numbers. So, it has become political. So Republicans can tell me something, Democrats can tell me something else. Give me the numbers and let me look at the numbers. So what are your thoughts on that, Sakira and Ashley?
I like the evidence.
Yeah, I like to see that help.
And you said it's always uploaded every Thursday?
Yep, every Thursday.
Okay. See, yeah. Okay, I really do like it because it's on the Kids at Public. Yeah, okay.
Well, I'd like to say this. I put into a call to Dr. Lillian Lockett Robertson due to the fact that she is the one that spoke with me and educated me how important it was as a Black woman, as a Black person, to go ahead and receive the COVID vaccine. And while Holly was up there, since most of our class are women, young ladies of color, of all different colors. that it would be good that we did invite Dr. Lillian up there to speak with the young ladies about the COVID vaccine and how important it is, and then give them some Black history of things that happened to Black people down south not being able to receive vaccines when needed back in the day. So I'm just waiting to hear
Back
back
in
from
the
Dr.
day, that's still happening now.
Well, yes, back then and today, but she tells she talks about, the Tuskegee Airmen, the syphilis, she talks about all that. And I think hearing it from her from a doctor's perspective and getting across to these young ladies would be very feasible and very powerful, hearing it from, a doctor. So,
Well,
then
Deborah,
other questions, yes.
Deborah, that sounds all good and all, but I want to hear from the ladies. We want to hear from them.
Oh no, I was just trying to tell you and everything what I was doing with them.
I know, but you're saying you think that, hearing it from a doctor is going to be good. I want to hear it from them, right? Because they're the future. So how is the medical community going to approach these young women as they go into adulthood and restore and build that trust, right? At some point, they are going to be parents and grandparents. And so the cycle continues, as Shakira was saying, right? So they got to start getting it right now, because if they don't build that trust, it doesn't help us as a community. One of the things that I think about when I was unsure about the vaccine, as I looked at what happened to some of the richest zip codes in this country, Beverly Hills, Florida, and I saw, white folks that were lying, putting on costumes to get vaccinated to look younger, right? And how they had access to it before everybody else. So that's one of the things my dad always said: go where you're not wanted, because that's where you're going to get the best services, right? And that turns out to be true, right? If in the more wealthier zip codes, there's better services. And so watching that was one of the things where it's like, hey, I'm not very trusting. I don't know what to believe, but I'm watching who's taking this, and I'm like, okay. So it's hard for poor folks to get this vaccine, huh? But the rich folks are getting this thing. They're lying and doing all kinds of stuff to get this thing. Okay. I did a podcast yesterday on public health and the vaccine, and I actually played news sources from outside the United States, because a lot of times we are distrusting of our local news, right? They tell us anything, and you see the biasness on how they report the news. So how does the rest of the world see us? And so that was interesting to show that, right? And that this isn't a localized thing, but this is international. So, we don't get along in this country. How are we going to get along globally? We don't. So everybody's not doing a conspiracy theory. Those are kind of some of the thoughts that kind of help me. That's not evidence-based or research-based or scientific. That's like, okay, I can go ahead and get this vaccine. Girls, what do you think about that?
He just really wants to leave me out. Because I still think it's very good that we're going to have Dr. Lillian Lockett Robertson come and speak with the girls.
No, it is very good. But see, they'd already said this is their show. And what'd you do? You done sat down and started.
Oh no, I was really supposed to go ahead and sit down here so they can say goodbye. No, because they have to go and everything. Because
the game.
Well, no, listen, everyone. When they say that I'm hard, my young ladies and everything, they've been working really hard. And I believe in multitasking. And like Sunday, they work from 12 to 10, 12 to 8. And they don't know their Miss Deborah works 7 days a week. So, you know what I'm saying? And I'm really hard. But one thing that these young ladies can say, that leaving here, and we had Denadra Davis and many of them that have worked with me have gone on to work for Fortune 500 companies and for law firms.
Say it.
And be able to keep up with the tasks of the corporate, learning the skills that they learned here. You know what I'm saying? To be able to move fast, being accurate, be able to multitask, to be able to be problem solve. And this is what I'm teaching them. I'm teaching them to prepare them for the world, for the workforce. Mm-hmm. So definitely. But when we're not here, I think I'm kind of fun, am I?
Yeah.
They ain't telling these girls eat good. I was saying they ain't shared none of that.
No,
with the
okay,
people.
no. Yes, Miss Deborah, do take care of us and feed us. Yes.
They no, and they have very expensive taste. Oh my God, the food bill.
Well,
No,
I'll
they
talk about
can
it. Talk
eat.
about it.
Yeah, so but when I'm at the job and everything, and I explain to them very well, it's way different. It's way different. We go into that work source, that workforce, and yeah, friendship, all the love and everything, because I'm about business.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So she's still trying to decide should she work for me.
Actually, I'm giving it a thumbs up. You should definitely do it. Don't be afraid of it. Lean into it. It'll be a great experience for you. She is hard, but and no joking aside, right? If you can maintain with Miss Deborah, then the next boss ain't gonna be nothing.
Yeah, you're right.
That's true.
Yeah.
And the biggest lesson that I think that our community has a tough time with, we have a few of them, but a big one is being able to separate, hey, we're friends, I love you, but when it's time to get down to business, this is business. This is everything that's on the line. This is how I pay my rent, and I keep a roof over my head and take care of my kids. This is how you do the same. And because surviving change is about taking care of other people, we got to be on point because
You
other
do.
people are depending on us, right? So I have a lot of sleepless nights, which I'm sure Deborah does, because we spend early mornings on the phone at 2 a.m. having those conversations
Yes.
about, hey, we're stressed out. How do we, if we stop, then people are going to suffer, and there's so many people that need help, and there's more people that need help. So how do we continue to thrive and keep going in these conditions when it's so stressful, right? And so there's a lot on our shoulders. There's a lot of people that are depending upon us. So this is definitely a skill that if you can gain, hey, we're going to work. It's not all going to be pleasant when we're at work, but once we're done, I love you then, and then we can go ahead and love on each other and be together. But right now, it's about getting the work done because everybody's depending on us. Our kids, ourselves, and everyone else. So that's a big deal for sure. Yeah, Miss Deborah, you're being invited to breakfast on this Saturday at 10 a.m.
I'm coming, yes. More one I wanted to say, the Lord has really blessed. And I got another young man from the Central Kitsap School District. So I think it's kind of spreading out there about me taking in young people and training them. And since we got so many programs and so much going on down here at Survive and Change, that I think we have Lemire Davis. So he started this week with us for one of his class to come do some volunteer work and come and work and learn some job skills. And his strong point is in math.
All
Thank
right.
God, I needed that. So he is doing a lot, working with our accountant, James Johnston, even James from his other job on the phone with him, doing numbers and doing some things. And so God is good. So we also, he's learning work skills and accounting skills. So I think that's a blessing. So I wanted to put that out there. So we do have students from Bremerton High School and from Central Kitsap High School.
Shout out for that one. Definitely get a horn. Well, I know I've kept y'all ladies, pretty late. One, I hope that you will continue this conversation with us. I think it's really powerful and important for people to hear your voices. As Shakira was saying, right? You want to be heard, you want to be listened to. And so we can do that, right? Power is taken, it's not given. There's a platform here so that you can do exactly that, right? And do more than just the people that are in your class, the people that are in your school, but the people in the community, folks that you may never ever meet, get to hear and think how you process the world and how you see it. So I appreciate you for coming on and sharing your opinion and not giving a damn about what anyone else thinks about your opinion, because it's your opinion. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all. I'm gonna give y'all an applause for that. I do want to get the final words from you ladies as you go home for dinner or go out to dinner. I don't know if Miss Deborah's taking y'all out for food.
No, their parents. Miss Deborah's working till midnight tonight. So yes, I'm working super late tonight.
Just like I said the last time, just be you. Nobody can be you but you. So just be the better you.
And if you're trying to look for reassurance, it's always in you.
Mm, mm. And definitely, reach out to some other folks like Miss Deborah Jackson that's there to stand in support and help to be there. All right. He never lets you have the final word.
No,
No,
I
I never.
just want to say thank you and for letting my girls their truth be told, telling their truth.
Well, again, this platform is here for you to use. I hope that you take advantage of it.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night. I hope you had a good holiday. We talked about that a little bit. And finish out strong until winter break. And maybe we might even see you back on the show before then. So just let me know. Sure. All right. That is Nehemiah, Ashley, Secura, and of course, Miss Deborah Jackson. We will be back tomorrow night with Pastor Ellington. You know, the Christian church is on fire. Going to hell. We're going to talk about it. So, come on in. Actually, tomorrow it's going to be a different conversation. Pastor Ellington actually has some really novel ideas on changing the church and how it's going to operate. So tune in tomorrow. He actually wants to get some feedback. I think it's very powerful. I think, that is I believe, I know this is a big deal. So if you are not willing to change, you definitely are doomed to revisit the history and do things over and over again and not make any gains. So tune in tomorrow night. Yeah, I'm excited for what his ideas are, and the fact that he's even open and willing to change and do some things different is very promising to me. So again, for the ladies surviving change, I'm R1 Cameron. This is the Conduit. We will see you